Good evening, everybody. Save the applause for the students. You're going to wear out your hands, I tell you. Well, I'm really happy to be here tonight to honor our two students from Missouri who placed first in the National History Day competition. I do need to give a little bit of background about the competition and introduce our students to you. First of all, National History Day has been around since 1974, and the Truman Library has been arranging and organizing competitions here since 1998, so about 20 years, which is pretty exciting that we've been doing it that long. But for the first time that I can recall in the last 20 years, this region in Kansas City where we host our regional competition, we have two first place winners in the nation, which is pretty incredible. And just to give you some background of how difficult and how hard this competition is, 700,000 students participated in National History Day in all of the states and all of the territories, including Guam and Puerto Rico, and even invited some foreign countries, China and South Korea, were all involved. I was very fortunate to go to the national finals this year in June, and there was about 3,000 students out there competing in about 18 different categories. And I want you to kind of think about the math of this. 700,000 students, and then that boils down at each level as they go forward in the competition. So the first round, it's kind of like March Madness, right? The first round of competition is Truman Library when you got 64 teams, except it was 500 students here in March. And then you go to the state competition, and we're very excited to have our state coordinator here, Maggie, from the State Historical Society of Missouri, who's the sponsor for the program in Missouri. So you should all get your memberships to the State Historical Society of Missouri, as they're such a strong sponsor of History Day. And those students compete at the state level, and at that state competition, only the top two go to the national finals. And so we had 36 entries, there's 18 categories, go to the national finals in June of this year. 13 of those 36 entries were from the Kansas City region, which we're very proud of that too. And then those two students, as I said, placed first in their respective categories. Now in the high school categories, there's 5 individual categories: papers, performance, exhibits, documentaries, and website. The Kansas City region got 2 of those 5 first place individual winners in the high school category. So that's pretty remarkable. As doing the calculation at the national level, only Florida had more first place winners this past year. They had 3, and Missouri had 2. And both of them are from this region. So that's really, really incredible. And just gives you a level of the quality of these entries. Now, if you saw the exhibits out in the lobby from Hannah Scott, you see that she brought all 5 of her exhibits. She's been doing the program 5 years from when she was in middle school. So when you look at that penicillin exhibit, that was when she was in 8th grade. And then there's an exhibit for each year. And you saw the monuments exhibit that she's going to talk about here in a few minutes for the gold medal in the first place this past year. And then, of course, we have Erin Lowe, who did her performance, and we're going to be talking to both of them after they've presented, but she placed first in the performance category. So both have just achieved remarkable results, but I do want to make sure that we kind of recognize some of the people in the audience. I know we've got a handful of judges that have judged in the past. Could you raise your hand if you've judged History Day? Even in your region, if you're from out of state, about 10 different judges I see. And I know we've got a few volunteers around too, so if any volunteers that help here at the Truman Library for History Day, they're very, very important. And I know Doris there, who's raising her hand, has volunteered 20 years in a row for National History Day here at the Truman Library, so that's pretty cool too. So we're really glad to have you all here.